The human brain is still the most poorly studied organ. It's so complex that no computer has yet managed to completely copy it. We can solve complicated problems, anticipate events, and compose songs and poems. This is only a small portion of its abilities. What if a computer could be connected to the brain? It sounds like a fantasy, but it's already a reality. Elon Musk is preparing to start another revolution, but this time in a different area. Today, you'll learn what our brain is capable of and how it works. You'll be surprised at how much information it contains and how fast it works. But most importantly, you'll find out how and why scientists plan on connecting our brain with a machine. And lastly, you'll get acquainted with the cyborgs already living among us. But first, one step at a time. And to start, neurons. These are the cells of our nervous system. They're responsible for receiving, processing, storing, and transmitting information. How many do you think are in the human brain? 1 million? 1 billion? Nope, that's too little. There are about 86 billion of them. Think about it. This is 11 times the population of the Earth. Thanks to these, the most powerful computer ever known to man is running inside of your head every second. If we compare our brain to a hard disk, then human memory can store up to 2.5 million gigabytes, or 2.5 petabytes of information. That's about 3 million hours of your favorite show. To use all of this storage, you'd have to leave your gadget turned on for more than 300 years. However, compared to the capabilities of any search engine, that isn't much. Google processes 24 petabytes of data every day. But the brain only needs 20 watts of power to work. That's so small that it could only power a dim light bulb. Therefore, our brain can be considered the most efficient computing device in the world. But I was struck by something else. Once, a computer took 40 minutes to recreate 1 second of our brain activity. At the time of the experiment, it was the 4th most powerful computer in the world. It had more than 700,000 processor cores and about 1,400,000 gigabytes of RAM. The machine simulated the interaction of more than 1.5 billion nerve cells and 1% of the total efficiency of our brain. So, if this organ is so powerful, why would scientists connect it to a computer? Unfortunately, the possibilities of the human body are not unlimited. If some part of the brain is damaged, it's not always possible to restore it. In this case, a computer could become a kind of spare part and compensate for lost functions. To cope with this difficult task, the man whose name is currently on everyone's lips has volunteered. This is Elon Musk, and he created the project Neuralink. Startup developers believe that the brain and a computer can be connected. To do this, you just need to implant polymer threads with electrodes into the human brain. They'll read the activity of neurons and stimulate them. To be honest, I can hardly believe it. Could this really be true? Yes, the innovative neural interface has already been invented. In it, electrodes are divided into 96 flexible threads thinner than a human hair. In total, they contain 3,072 electrodes. The company has also developed a special robot for implanting the threads. It will sew them into the nerve tissue on the same principle as a sewing machine, stitch by stitch. It takes only 16 minutes to fully integrate the interface into the human brain. This is incredibly fast for such technically complex operations. To read data from the threads, a special chip will be attached behind the ear. This will transmit data to a computer. In the future, developers plan on creating a system that would work over a wireless network. Implanting the device, as promised by scientists, will be no more difficult than vision correction surgery. And when that happens, humanity will have virtually unlimited possibilities. People who have lost their sight will be able to see. Those who are left without hearing will finally hear the voices of their relatives again. Paralyzed people will be able to control their smartphones, computers, and advanced prosthetics. Restore memory, eliminate brain damage after a stroke, restore the functionality of limbs. The Neuralink will be able to do it all. In the future, this invention may become as necessary for the ordinary person as a smartphone. Artificial intelligence will develop more and more, and in order not to fall behind in evolution, humanity will have to make friends with it. It's obvious that in a couple of decades, our brain will have no chance at surpassing this rival. They'll have to become allies. This will also help the Neuralink. Thanks to it, you can save the state of the brain just like a video game. Playing back memories will be as easy as pulling up a video from your phone, except that, unlike a video, you'll be able to feel the full range of feelings, and traces of memories of unpleasant events will be able to be edited. The authors of the project claim that it may take a quarter of a century to create a full-fledged brain interface. But if everything works out, we'll be able to scroll through an Instagram feed and see people's real memories, even if they're no longer alive. So in the future, will people become cyborgs? In general, Elon Musk believes that we've already become them. We can't imagine life without mobile devices. It's just that for now, we have a very slow data transfer rate. But after hooking up to a computer, our productivity could increase by as much as 10 times. Can you imagine what prospects will open up to a person then? In fact, there are already highly advanced people living on Earth. Some are forced to use technology because they've lost some of their bodily functions. Special devices have replaced their feet, hands, or eyes. There are others who've had metal implanted inside themselves for the sake of convenience or fun. For example, to open doors, start their car, or log into their computer. It was for this reason Amal Grafstra had implants inserted in both hands. Another man put a real antenna in his head to be able to distinguish between colors. But that's nothing compared to what this man came up with. His name is Peter Scott Morgan, and he's a scientist. Peter has an incurable disease of the nervous system, and for several years, he's been working hard on creating a new version of himself. Peter 2.0 will likely become the most advanced cyborg in the world. A speech synthesizer has already been implanted in it, along with a microphone, a fan, and a tube for direct food intake to its intestines. His digital copy can speak with his voice and express emotion. In general, to do what Peter himself, unfortunately, can no longer do. The scientist himself controls his avatar with the movement of his pupils. He plans that soon all of his interaction with the world will be robotic. To achieve this, he's going to implant electronic components in his brain. In this way, Peter plans to fully move into the digital world. Is cyborgization really our future? A powerful processor will be operating in our head, and exoskeletons for fast movement will replace fashionable sneakers. To find the answer to a desired question, you won't even need to strain your brain. Requests for internet search engines will be sent off automatically, and the response will be received within a split second. Photo and video equipment will no longer be needed. After all, memories will be immediately recorded and stored in the cloud. Do you like the sound of that? Let us know in the comments. And if you like this video, give it a like and subscribe to the channel.